Is Rambo racist? No. Are journalists racist? Yes. All of them. All journalists are the exact same, the fucking degenerates.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
So Rambo Last Blood came out this weekend. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I'm seeing it Tuesday with some friends, since that's pretty much when our schedules all align. But I won't deny that I'm hyped as fuck. Rambo is a franchise close to my heart. Saw First Blood when I was a kid and absolutely loved it. Rambo Part 2 and 3 are definitely way more cartoony and Hollywood than the first one, but they're still fun. I even like the third one, even though some people downright hate that one. But the main thing is, where First Blood is a character study about a traumatized and broken soldier, the later movies just end up being vehicles for Sylvester Stallone to show how big his gun is, because he shoots a big gun. Now, Rambo 4, the one from 2008, is actually tragically slept on. That movie, in my opinion, is pretty fucking good. Not the smartest on the planet, not by any means, but it's fun. Ultra-violent, and a good love letter to the character. Also, one of the most accurate representations of how a 50 caliber machine gun works. Call it over the top, some people think the gore is actually fake, but no, that's probably what would happen to a human body. Because it's a slug the size of a Sharpie pen aiming straight at you. And this new movie seems like it's a good swan song for John Rambo. Because Stallone is in his 70s and knows he can't keep doing this forever. And while he swears he can give it another shot with a prequel if this movie's successful, I'm not really sure he's up to it. Or that he can keep a franchise alive. I mean, he's an old man. Some people absolutely love his portrayal of Rocky in the Creed movies, which definitely takes his age into account, but Rambo isn't immortal. But is any of this legitimate criticism taken into account by the soy-filled lunatics at show media sites? No. As expected, they came out in droves to yell at this movie for being racist. That Rambo is a Reagan-era character revived for the Trump voters.
Shut the fuck up!
And puking out that this movie is anti-Mexican propaganda. Here's the problem with that. It completely misses the point of the movie. Human trafficking and the kidnapping of American tourists in Mexico is very much a thing. Cartels have a stranglehold on the country, and it's absolutely tearing itself into pieces over constant corruption. A great documentary to check out about this subject is Cartel Land. It's unforgiving and grim, but it pretty much lays it all out. But denying this like it's some 1970s housewife logic, and pretending the world is all sunshine and puppy dogs is downright stupid and irresponsible. Also, it's completely shitting on the director of the film, Adrian Grunberg, who is a really talented dude that has directed a lot of movies and shows about Mexico. Get the Gringo, which is a great Mel Gibson vehicle, I highly recommend that one. Some episodes of Narcos, including Narcos Mexico, Apocalypto, which is literally considered one of the most accurate films about ancient Mayan culture, Man on Fire, which is just a fucking amazing movie, period. I mean, this dude's not unfamiliar with how Mexican culture works. Simply bringing up the issues a country has is not saying that the entire country is some horrible shithole that needs to be burned. Also, looking at the IMDb page, the girl Rambo has to save, the emotional core of the story, looks to be, Hispanic. So Rambo is a horrible racist killing evil gangbangers to save a Hispanic girl from rape and torture.
That cynical bitch.
Yeah. Something tells me that if the villains were a bunch of dumb rednecks, all the grotesque violence suddenly wouldn't be an issue. I'm not gonna mince words here. The fact that Last Blood apparently isn't bashing Trump or saying open borders for all is enough to anger the mentally disabled, though the more common term for that is those with journalism degrees. Obviously, I'm not gonna sit back and pretend that Rambo isn't a political character, because he actually super is. The novel First Blood, written by David Morrell, is all about the mistreatment of Vietnam veterans after they returned home from the war, how the repercussions from the hippie movement and the perception of the war by the general public led to social ostracism for many returning soldiers, on top of essentially being abandoned by the government when health complications thanks to war injuries and Agent Orange reared their ugly heads. Hell, even First Blood Part 2 has some sort of a political message to it, which is, strange for the one that's considered the most brain-dead of the franchise, beyond 3. But hell, 2 is outright anti-CIA, as the shadowy government figure abandons Rambo and captured POWs to die.
The war, everything that happened here may be wrong, but damn it, don't hate your country
Part 3 was pro-Mujahideen, since it came out during the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Though that, yeah, part 3 didn't age too great, because the Mujahideen became the Taliban. Yeah. But even the 2008 Rambo was actually political.
You serious?
See, it was actually a commentary on the Burmese Civil War and the genocide of the Karen civilians by the Burmese government. And actually, it's considered a pretty inspiring film for the rebels over there. Yeah, it's kind of strange when you think about it that a movie we consider brainless over here is actually kind of a call to arms over there. But if anything, Last Blood seems to be the black sheep by not having a political message to it, which isn't really much of a requirement. They want to take Rambo in a new direction, and they have every right to do that. This story in particular does not seem to be about politics, it's about sending off Rambo's character. And if the audience reviews are enough to go by, it's pretty excellent, at least in the eyes of fans of the franchise. It's a movie for people that love Rambo and isn't trying to be more than that. So I think judging it as though it's something it's really just not is pretty wrong. It's not saying to kill all Mexicans or for gamers to rise up. It's just a revenge story where an angry old man destroys the world, which there are already plenty of. Movies like that are fun. Bad guys are bad and the protagonist kicks ass. It's not Shakespeare, but they don't really try to be. Sometimes you just need a simple story that lets you have sadistic fun with it. It's part of the reason people watch slasher movies. Not everything needs multiple layers or mind-bending depth, and they especially don't need political propaganda disguised as a film. Just to put it out there as I wrap my thoughts on this video up, but there's a big difference between a political story and political propaganda. A political story raises questions and adds multiple perspectives on it. The story may prefer one over the other, it may outright support or demonize a side, but it allows itself to merely bring attention to something. It lets you think about it.
Number 1. In 1945, corporations paid 50% of federal taxes. Now they pay about 5%. Number 2. In 1900, 90% of Americans were self-employed. Now it's about 2%.
Propaganda demands you support its side and paints all other viewpoints as irrational or downright evil. First Blood is political. It's not propaganda. Marvel Comics today are political, but they are propaganda as well. This is all I can really say on the matter. It's kind of a shorter video, but hopefully this bad press will work in the opposite direction and get more people curious to check out the new Rambo movie and see what they have to think about it. Since that seems to be how things work now. Everyone takes freaking out and social justice whining as actually a sign of endorsement than any kind of problem, which you would think companies would try to exploit and be more rebellious instead of actually listening to these dumb fucks. But anyway, until next time, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and please remember that you just can't turn it off.
You just don't turn it off! It wasn't my war! You asked me, I didn't ask you! And I did what I had to do to win, but somebody wouldn't let us win! And I come back to the world, and I see all those maggots at the airport protesting me, spitting, calling me baby killer and all kinds of vile crap. Who are they to protest me, huh? Who are they? Unless they've been me and been there and know what the hell they're yelling about.